Welcome to a new way. He has put you on a new journey. Hold close to him and follow what he says. Sent the final prophet Muhammad to mankind a mercy.
Assalamu alaikum. Get to know your Lord. First part of the Right Belief series by Sheikh Karim Abu Zaid. This dynamic literary work of art's main goal is to revive an understanding the names and attributes of Allah. And understanding the name and attributes of Allah will elevate our faith, strengthen us, and keep us steadfast. This wonderful book is now available in an audiobook format and can be found free of charge on YouTube, channel Karim Abu Zaid. Get to know your Lord. You have nothing to lose.
Know your Lord. We learn about his names and his attributes. Know your Lord. What he approves and disapproves. Know your Lord. Believe in all things that he has brought forth. Know his oneness, Lord.
Know Your Lord, part of the Right Belief series by Sheikh Karim Abu Zaid, right here on Sunnah Followers. Being taught by Ustada Layla Nashiba as she lays down the foundations to get you together. Learn about your Lord. Know your Lord. Streaming on all major platforms. Channel Sunnah Followers.
Ina alhamdulillah, wa salat, wa salam ala wa rasulallah. I'd like to welcome everybody to our first class for today. And this is our series on Aqidah. And in this class, we're speaking about the most important concept of being a Muslim, and that is our belief system. Because if your belief system is not correct, none of our good deeds are accepted. We're just going to end up in the hellfire, just like the non-believers. And before I get into today's topic, I like to address something that needs to be said. And I hope that the male duat or the male daya, the male callers are listening to me. Just a word of advice to the male, my Muslim brothers in faith who have devoted their lives to dawah like I have. You know, there's a lot going on in the world. We already know. We know the war against Islam is happening. It's not going to stop. We know that. And it's all about trying to make the people aware. You know, we want the Muslims to be aware of that the war is happening, and they are. You can't help but be aware of it because it's all over the place. But a word of advice I have to you male duat, you male speakers and people of knowledge. In times of calamity, it falls upon us, the people of knowledge, to try to not only make the people aware of what's happening, but also remember, we have to also remind them why it's happening. Because nothing happens in this world, good or bad, unless Allah wills it. This is all the qadr of Allah. This is all the will of Allah. And as you, as a person of knowledge, knows, as do I, Allah tells us he doesn't do things frivolously. There's a reason. He's already told us that war would come, and he's told us why. He said it's because we will have deviated away from the true Islam. We will be attacking each other, fighting each other, bashing each other. We will change his laws to suit the time, to pacify the non-Muslims. The Prophet Muhammad's example, his sunnah will become forgotten. The heroisms of the companions will become forgotten and will be replaced with the women and men of today. So there's cause and effect. And like I say, I respect the fact that a lot of you you like to constantly remind the people of what's happening in Gaza. Nothing's wrong with that. Our heart goes out to what's happening in Gaza and Sudan and all the rest of the Muslim world. We wouldn't be believers if our heart didn't go out. But one thing that I think you brothers are doing, you're overdoing it. Instead of you speaking as to why it's happening, you're blaming it on the Zionists, the Kafirs. You're blaming it on the Kafirs when this is not the blame. I'm sorry, guys. You guys know just like I know. This has nothing to do with Zionism and Israel. Israel is just the puppet that Allah uses. You brothers know that Allah said this war would happen, and you guys know why. But instead of you doing what the Prophet said to do when this happens, by reminding the Muslims to, first of all, make dua for those Muslims that are going through these hard times. But remember, they can handle it, because Allah is not going to place a burden on any person that they can't handle it. Those Muslims over there in Gaza, those Muslims in the Sudan, those Muslims in Yemen, their faith is stronger than yours and mine. So they can handle what Allah has sent them. The question is, can you handle it? And evidently you can't. Now, I'm going to tell you guys why I'm speaking about this. And I'm being very calm. I don't want anyone to confuse my passion for anger, because that seems to be a problem. It's in my blood. I come from my DNA is filled with famous people. King Charlemagne, I'm a descendant of him on my mother's side. And he was an orator. He was a horrible, horrible man too, but very passionate. And then on my father's side, I'm a Sadat, all the passion to rule the world. But I'm toning it down today because I don't want no one to think I'm angry. Something happened here in my website 2 days ago. I was teaching this class. And you guys know my life is devoted to La ilaha illallah, Muhammadur Rasulullah. I had a new student here. He's new. I mean, he's been coming here recently. I'm going to be honest. He's one of Dr. Dramali's people. He's one of Dr. Ibrahim Dramali's people. His name is Nestor. I'm going to give you his name. His name was Nestor. That's the nickname. I don't know what his real name is, but on YouTube, he used the name Nestor, Nestor. And I really like that person, whoever it is. I don't know if it's a male or a female, but they've only been coming here for about a month. And I enjoy them being here because they're learning the religion. They're learning what I'm teaching. They participate. This person participates in my Q&A. I always give a quiz before class. My people in the Zoom room get dumb. They don't answer. But he's one of the first people to type an answer, along with Sister Sakina and Pamela and them on YouTube. And I really enjoy this person, whoever he is. I just know he's one of Dr. Dramali's. Well, the other day when I was teaching this class, you know, I took a drink of my Starbucks. And I was 'Because the person referred to me as being a Zionist. The person referred to me as being a Zionist supporter. I don't like that, because y'all know that I will jihad. It's in my blood, Viking and Arabic. I will jihad in the name of Allah when others won't. And I tried to explain to the person, first of all, there's nothing in Islam. And this is what I want you famous brothers, when y'all are speaking about Gaza and you guys are inciting the emotions of the Muslims, I think you're overdoing. You're making them angry. Remember, there's a balance, just like there's a balance with me, my passion. I have to learn to balance my passion so that my passion doesn't appear to be anger. And I'm working on that. You see, I'm smiling. Even though I shouldn't smile as a Muslim woman, I am. Because a lot of people don't understand that as a Muslim woman, I'm not supposed to smile. I'm not supposed to do that publicly. I'm supposed to be business, like Sheikh Saud said. What did Sheikh Saud say yesterday? He said a Muslim woman, when that brother asked a question about learning from Layla, what did he say? One thing about Layla don't play. I make sure that my voice is the way Allah commands, intimidating, not aggressive, intimidating. You look at the meaning of that Arabic word. That Arabic word means intimidating, okay, and firm and strong, not soft, weak, meek. That's the meaning of that word in the Quran, intimidating. And I don't smile. I don't play. I'm serious. I'm sitting here teaching Islam and I try to be serious. But nowadays we've deviated away from the Sunnah. We don't understand our religion. That's why Allah has sent this war, okay? Because we don't understand our deen. So unless you can become like the Kafirs, unless I become like a Kafir woman and joke and smile and make my voice soft and flirtatious with you guys, I'm looked at as a renegade. Well, I'm not going to do that because I love Allah. I'm not going to make my voice soft and sweet and meek and flirtatious. And I'm not going to sit here and give you my age, my sex, or my location, and, meet me in a private chat room. I'm not going to do that because I fear Allah. But I'm going to tell you guys, when you brothers are giving your dawah and your awareness about Gaza, y'all have to stop with all that emotionalism, because the Muslims today are weak. The Muslims today are ignorant of Islam. They don't even understand what La ilaha illallah means. This class here is the proof. They can't even tell me the articles of faith. If I were to ask the Muslims in here, what are the articles of faith? They can't name them. They confuse the articles of faith with the articles of belief. Of the pillars of Islam. Most of the Muslims don't even know how to pray. They don't know the sunans of the prayer. They don't know the pillars of the prayer. That's how messed up we are. And that's why Allah has sent this war. But you brothers need to tell them that. Because now I got people attacking me. You're going to call Layla Nashiba, of all people, a Zionist supporter because I drink Starbucks. Let's talk about it. Where does Allah say in Islam that you have to boycott anybody? First of all, you brothers need to stop all this emotionalism. Boycotting is what the Kafirs do. You brothers have become so twisted that you even fight like a Kafir. I'm just going to keep it real. We are so far away from the Sunnah that you brothers fight like a Kafir. What do I mean? Did the companions boycott the Jews? No. When Umar, radiallahu anhu, sent his armies out, did he tell them to boycott all Roman products, to boycott all Persian products, don't eat their food, don't support them financially. Did Umar say that dumb stuff? Is there any hadith that shows that any of the original companions, and they were at war continuously from the time they converted to Islam to their death? Show me one hadith where the Prophet commanded us as Muslims to boycott buying anything from our enemies, first of all. Umar told his army, we got one thing that the enemies don't have, and that's taqwa Allah. As long as we stick to that, we'll always have the upper hand. How did the companions fight? They didn't fight like kafirs, walking down the street, holding up signs, talking about boycott, protest. That's a kafir way of fighting. We fought with Allah. We had Allah as our helper. So when you brothers are out there speaking about Gaza, alhamdulillah, but don't get it twisted. Speak the truth. First of all, let these Muslims today know that there is no verse in the Quran, nor is there any authentic hadith that says when we are at war, we boycott the goods. The Prophet Muhammad died owing a Jew for his armor. That's number one. Number two, we have to be educated. Starbucks does not support Israel. How many times we have to go through that? Starbucks is a franchise in America. It's owned by whoever pays the money into it. Starbucks doesn't support nothing, no American company. Just for the record, guys, y'all need to go take a civics class. In America, no company in America can take its money and send it to another foreign government. Do y'all know what would happen? First of all, the banks wouldn't do it. The banks would contact Homeland Security. And you got to answer to the federal government, what are you sending money to another government for? That's not how we work in America. We cannot send money if I wanted to support Israel, I can't go to my bank account and say, Israel government, here I am, I'm sending you $1,000. That's not how it works in America. You guys have to get educated. You have to go through the federal government. The federal government supports Israel. The federal government. So when you brothers are teaching about Gaza and getting all that emotional, getting people angry, and please get it right. Teach them the way the Prophet taught. Teach them, first of all, Allah's in control. Secondly, there's nothing in Islam that says you have to boycott anybody, period. Thirdly, get your facts together before you call another Muslim a kafir, before you refer to another Muslim as being a sinner, before you call any other Muslim, because I ain't going to have nobody. And I'm not being angry, and I'm trying not to be passionate, but I speak like this naturally. I don't want nobody coming in here referring to Layla Nashiba as being no Zionist, no kafir, or anything else because I drink Starbucks. When you don't even know what la ilaha illallah means. You don't even know the laws of Islam. You don't even know that there's nothing in Islam that says you fight like a kafir, but you're going to call me a kafir. You fight like the unbelievers. You behave like the unbelievers. You think like the unbelievers. You dress like them, and you vote in American elections. Hello. What does Allah say about voting for kafirs to be your president? You brothers have to calm it down. You tell Layla to calm it down. I'm calm. You brothers need to take that feminine emotionalism that y'all suffering with, check it. Check it at the door. Teach these people what the Prophet said, how to behave in times of calamity. how to not transgress the limits of Allah. Teach these people in America, these Muslims, to be educated about American politics, because that list that the terrorists, and that's who they are, they're terrorists. We got some bad Muslims too. That's why Allah sent this war, because we got a lot of bad Muslims. That list that the terrorists put out, they put every company in America on that list, claiming that these companies support Israel. When these people, the American people, laugh at you because we couldn't send a penny to Israel. If we wanted to, we'd have our doors blown up. We'd be arrested. The banks wouldn't even transfer the money. We're ignorant. We Muslims are uneducated. We don't have the common sense. We don't have the knowledge of Islam. So how dare we try to play with politics? How dare we try to play with politics? You better do what Umar told his army. Don't get involved in those politics. That's what he told his army. Don't get involved in their ways and in their disputes. He said, stick to the book of Allah. Keep your taqwa with Allah. Don't transgress Allah's limits, because long as we stay within the guidelines of Allah, we got Allah on our side. But when we deviate away from that, that's when we're worse than our enemies. And that's when Allah will punish us even more. And that's what's happening today. This war ain't stopping. Y'all can protest. Y'all can boycott. You can refer to me as a kafir, a Zionist, because I drink Starbucks. You can call everybody kafirs because we ain't protesting and boycotting with you. You still can't change Islam. You cannot produce one verse, not one verse from that book we follow that says we got to boycott anybody. Nor can you bring one verse that says we supposed to pick up signs like the kafirs and protest too. Y'all better learn your deen. Stop calling other Muslims kafir. Stop calling people's names. I am a Muslim woman. I have spent my entire life from the age of 6 in this dawah. Have you? I was raised, programmed to teach people like you the basics of Islam. And you're going to call me a kafir, a Zionist, because you're emotionally deranged, because you cannot accept the qadr of Allah. You don't even know that if all mankind were to protest, boycott, and come together, they wouldn't be able to change a thing unless Allah willed it. You don't even understand that, but you're going to refer to me as a Zionist supporter, and a kafir. You just cursed a person. And when you curse a person, if that person's not worthy of that curse, y'all know what happens? It goes up to the heavens, it goes to the right, it goes to the left, and it's going to come back on you or your children or your grandchildren. Why do you think we have a high apostasy rate today of Muslims? We curse each other and it comes back on us. Watch your mouth. And you brothers, y'all need to chill. Y'all need to learn to balance. Stop inciting anger in the people. Stop inciting emotionalism in the people. And instead do what I'm doing. Cause them to think. Cause them to see that Allah does nothing without a reason. Cause them to ponder and ask themselves, what have they done to cause this to happen to us as a nation? Allah will never change the condition of a people until we change the condition of ourselves. This is what you should be telling these people instead of showing dead bodies, dead babies. You're acting like a terrorist. You're just inciting them to to go out and kill each other. That's what they do. Layla's a kafir. So they done put me in the same category as so many other famous personalities. I take it as a compliment. You know what? I'm going to take it as a compliment. Because looking at who they calling kafirs today, wow, it's a compliment. That's one of the signs of the last hour. Truthfulness will appear to be falsehood. Falsehood will appear to be truthfulness. Put me in that category. Because I drink Starbucks. And let's see who the real kafir will be. When you can't even tell me the pillars of faith. You can't even detail to me the pillars of faith. So that's my little speech for today. And I'm not angry. Okay. I tried to keep the passion low, but I can only do so much because I am a professional speaker. I went to school to be a speaker, a public speaker, a public announcer, a journalist, communication specialist. So I can't do it but such. I know you brothers are used to listening to those accent, sweet, talking, flirtatious women. I can't be them, but this is as low key as I can keep it. You know, for you duet, check yourself and check the people. Because I ain't going to let nobody come up on me and call me a kafir again. Okay? All right. So with that said, let's get to, yes, those are fighting words. Y'all know those are fighting words? All right, let's get to the class today. The book, Get to Know Your Lord by Sheikh Kareem Abu Zaid. And by the way, let me see if I can share it to you. Sheikh Kareem Abu Zaid, he put out a children's version of this book that I really want you guys to go out and buy. You know, instead of sitting around getting all emotionally deranged about something that you can't change, which is the qadr of Allah. You know, as far as that war, you need to change the condition of yourself. You can do something about that. You can save your children from the hellfire. So I would strongly encourage all of you as Muslims, let me put it up here, to buy the children's version. This is the, can y'all see it? This is the children's version of the book, Knowing Allah and Sharing Islam. The book is on Amazon, made available, and also the book called Juz Amma. I'm sorry. This is also a children's version, grades kindergarten through third grade, and given an explanation of the meaning of those surahs of the Quran, the Juz Amma. I highly recommend you guys get these books for the kids, especially the Knowing Allah, because that way it's just like the book here it's just like this adult book. The same chapters, the same message, but it's condensed and it's written in plain, simple English for the children to understand. So the kids can participate in this class with me and also learn about the how to get close to Allah. And yeah, y'all see that? Take a screenshot. Let me put it like that so she can screenshot it. Let me know when you took it. Okay, good. Okay, yeah. It's on Amazon. They're both, I think they're both $19.99. Yeah, the kids can read along with us and participate with us. Exactly. Yeah, so pick up that book for them, guys. I want the kids, they need to learn about Allah so they don't grow up to be like us. What do I mean when I say you don't want the children to grow up to be like us, to grow up to be uneducated about their purpose, unaware of what's lawful, what's not lawful. You don't want your kids growing up calling other Muslims kafir and Zionists because they drink Starbucks. You want your kids to know, that the true Islam, not this oppressive Islam and this terroristic. Oh yeah, terroristic. This terroristic Islam that we see today. You want to know why the non-Muslims are scared of us? Because we're ignorant and we're terrorists. If we're attacking each other, calling each other kafirs, I'd be afraid of you too. I'm like, look at how they treat each other. Here that woman is sitting on the internet teaching her religion. And somebody gonna call her a Zionist and a kafir because she drinking Starbucks? What Starbucks got to do with anything? I mean, come on. You don't want your children to be like that, ignorant. Especially you want your kids to know about their country they live in. Take a civics class. I hope the Islamic schools, that might be the problem. The Islamic schools need to teach civics. I learned civics in the 5th grade here in America. So you can learn that you can. That's one of the first things you learn as a kid. You can't send no money to no government. You got to go through the federal government. There's a process. America got a crazy, especially when it comes to money. There's a whole crazy process you got to go through, and the federal government ain't allowing it. Hello. It's crazy. Y'all need to incorporate a civics class, American civics class in your curriculum for these Muslim schools. They need to learn the laws of America since they live here. So they won't go around calling each other Zionists and kafirs and thinking that all the companies in America support Israel when they don't. How many statements did Starbucks put out, y'all? They just put another statement out 2 months ago saying that where did this lie come from? First of all, they said we're a franchise. Secondly, the corporate, they say we don't support nobody killing no women and children. The same thing Queen Latifah said when they got Queen Latifah on the list too. The cover girl. She said, what I look like, a black woman supporting any racist place. She said, my father's Muslim. Are y'all crazy? You Muslims need to get it together. They got every American company on that list. And who wrote the list? Terrorists. Yep. All right. So let's put the PowerPoint up on the screen for today's lecture, okay? Let's get our iman together here. All right, we can go on and on about this. And, you know, I'm not upset. You guys see I'm smiling. I'm doing something you never see. I'm smiling. Since you want me, unless we act like kafirs, we're not accepted. All right, here, let's put this on. All right. Yeah. So today what we're going to do is we're going to continue with this chapter that Sheikh Kareem Abu Zayd really did a good job speaking about the process of awakening the faith in your heart, because that's the problem today. A lot of people say that they believe in Allah, but how many of us truly do? How many of us are true believers? If you believe in Allah, would you ever call another Muslim a kafir? If you truly believe in Allah, would you refer to another Muslim as being a Zionist? If you are truly believe in Allah, would you say that something is haram and you don't have no evidence to support it? Oh yeah, this book covers all of that. We got to be careful. That makes Allah angry when we try to change his laws and impose new laws that he didn't even create. He didn't tell you nothing about the boycotting and all. That crap is ignorance. That's the crazy the Western kafir way of doing things. Okay? We fight with our iman. So we're going to cover pages 42 through 45 today, which will be taking care of the rest of this chapter as we embark upon how to grow or increase our faith. And before I get into today's lecture, here's a question from yesterday, just to see how many of you are paying attention. Who can tell me, when is it? Oh, that's supposed to be what? What is it that brings a person into the folds of Islam? If a person wants to come into the folds of submission to Allah, what is it that brings a person into the folds of submission to Allah? Who can remember? What is it that brings an individual into the folds of submission to Allah?
Whenever they
I don't want Yasmin to answer anything. That's my best student. She can teach this class. I want to hear from the other people that can't even talk well. No Yasmin today, y'all. Somebody else. What is it that brings a person into the folds of Islam? And I'll also wait for the YouTube people. They usually give all the right answers. I'll give y'all, I know y'all lagging. Anybody else in Zoom? Nobody else in Zoom knows what brings you into the... Okay.
What brings you into...
Okay, go ahead.
I was just going to say, what brings you into Islam is to submit. So basically, your firm belief.
Nope.
Confirms it.
Nope.
And then you take your shahada first.
Okay.
I get it mixed up again? Okay.
Oh, yeah. This is what I'm talking about for you duet. You brothers, instead of y'all giving all these khutbahs, inciting anger and hatred and in the hearts and emotions into the hearts of these twisted, stupid Muslims of today, y'all need to focus on doing like Umar said, build up your belief. They can't answer my simple questions, but I'm a kafir because I drink Starbucks. And I'm not boycotting, and I'm not walking around with posters and protesting and bending over, showing my behind and being sweet and flirtatious. Oh God, we are sick people. Okay, Amina, try it again. What is it that brings you into the folds of Islam, Mina? You gave a whole bunch of answers, but it's only one answer.
The fold of Islam is to take the shahada, the belief in Allah.
Exactly. MashaAllah. Now she got it. I knew she'd get it when she read the question again. Okay, exactly. What is it that brings us into the folds of Islam? The shahada. When we declare La ilaha illallah, Muhammadur Rasulullah, that brings us into the folds of submission to Allah. Y'all got it? Good job, Asa. Everybody else got it? I want y'all to remember that what is it that brings a person into submission to Allah? You have to first testify. Testify that there is no deity worthy of worship other than Allah. When you testify that there is no deity worthy of worship other than Allah, that will bring you into the folds of Islam. Good job. Okay, what about this? Good job, Mina. Now, if that statement is true, in other words, if what you are saying is true, if you truly believe what you're saying, when you say that there is no deity worthy of worship other than Allah, and Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is his final prophet and messenger. If you truly believe that, if you believe that statement, it will be followed by what?
Is it your actions?
MashaAllah. Now the kids are here. Exactly. Good job. That's Precious kids, wasn't it? MashaAllah. Good job, baby. Exactly. If a person truly believes it, it'll show through their actions. Everybody got that? Everybody got that? It'll show through your actions. Like I was saying, if you truly believe in Allah, would you refer to another Muslim as a kafir? If you truly believed in Allah, would you refer to another Muslim as a Zionist? If you truly believe in Allah, would you say things are haram when you don't have any clear evidence to support it? If you truly believe in Allah, would you act on your emotions or would you act on intellect? That's something we're going to talk about. That's another one of the signs of last hour, which is why Allah has brought this war. We're too emotional. We don't use logic anymore. It's all about our feelings, our emotions. Good job. So, what about this? Once a person enters the folds of Islam by declaring La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah, what must the person immediately begin to study that will help to strengthen, increase, and develop his or her belief in Allah? Is it the war in Gaza?
He needs to learn about his Lord.
Say it again, baby.
He needs to learn about his Lord.
Exactly. MashaAllah. The children know the answers. Exactly. And I heard me on the TV. She got me on the big screen TV. Exactly. We have to first develop our knowledge of Allah. That's the problem, guys. We convert to Islam. And instead of us focusing on learning about Allah, we're focusing on learning how to speak Arabic. As sister Amy said, she went to the mosque and they gave her a book on polygamy. What? This woman just been Muslim for 4 weeks. Amy's been Muslim for 4 weeks. She's been coming to my classes. I told you guys to find the mosque. So she went to a mosque and introduced herself like I told her. And the first thing they did is gave her a book on polygamy that somebody wrote on polygamy. Is that what you do to help develop a new shahada? Oh, no. We have to study about Allah. We got to get to learn our Lord. If we would learn about Allah, that would help us to become better, stronger believers. And then Allah would take away his punishments from us, because that's what it is. It's a punishment. Allah says he sends war for several reasons. Number one, to cleanse the earth of bad, corrupt people. That's the first reason. Second reason is so we can see who are the believers amongst us and who are not believers. And Lord, have mercy with all this so-called kafir bashing because people drink Starbucks. You know, we can see we ain't got that many believers. And the third reason is to test the few believers that are living with something better. He told us those are the reasons why he sends it. So if we got to know Allah, we would know that. If we learned about Allah instead of learning about politics, learning about polygamy, learning about other stuff, then we would have strong faith. And we would then in turn submit to Allah. How can you submit to his commands if you don't believe in him? That's the problem. All right, so we have to study about Allah first. And so what we're going to speak about today, we talked about how faith develops through stages. I'm going to make this larger for the kids because the kids are watching me on the big screen TV. So let me, I'm going to make this bigger and make me smaller. Okay. Can y'all see that now, kids? That's big, isn't it? As we talked about, there's different stages of faith. Just like I've told you, sisters, the new shahadas here, when you go to the mosque and the imam comes at you and tells you, 50% of your marriage is 50% of your deen. So you need to get married. And they're making you sisters believe that once you get married and have sex, Allah is going to send 50% of the knowledge of Islam to you. That's a lie. That ain't what that hadith means. That hadith ain't got nothing to do with that. It's talking about how we need to control our private parts and control our tongue. Total different topic. Okay? So, When a person says, La ilaha illallah, Muhammadur Rasulullah, all the knowledge of Islam is not going to just fall out the sky to you. Your faith develops in stages. And the statement of La ilaha illallah, this is the first stage. This is the first stage of faith, guys, because it's bringing you, as we said, into the folds of Islam. And after you testify to La ilaha illallah, you then have to turn to Allah's books, not books on polygamy. You have to turn to the Allah's books that about him and the signs that he has around us that tell us about him, so we can learn his names, his attributes, his actions. What that Masjid should have given Amy is a book on this book, Get to Know Your Lord. They should have given her a book on the names and attributes of Allah and their meaning, not a book on polygamy. Or they should have given her a book on what it means to believe in the angels of Allah. What does it mean to believe in the jinn? Who are the jinn? They should have given her a book about the prophets of Allah. They should have given her a book that speaks about the day of judgment and the hellfire and paradise. Or they should have given her a book about El-Qadr, which is the predestination, because that's the number one problem. Most Muslims today do not believe in the Qadr of Allah, even though they say they do. That's why you're struggling. You can't handle what's happening in Gaza, because you don't understand the Qadr of Allah. That's why you blaming Israel. That's why you calling me a kafir, because I drink Starbucks, because you don't know the Qadr of Allah. So this is what we study first. Remember the hadith we talked about, how when the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam sent Mu'adh to Yemen as the first messenger to convey the truth of Islam to the people, he said, teach them about Allah first. Once a person understands that Allah is the creator, that Allah is in charge, that nothing happens unless he wills it, that he's the supreme being, then that person will recognize that he has a purpose in life. And that's the problem too. A lot of Muslims today, we fail to understand that we were created with a purpose. And that purpose was not to go around killing each other, calling each other kafirs and Zionists. We were created to submit to Allah, to do what he commanded. And once a person's faith develops that, and a person understands that, then he will find it easy to conform to Allah's laws. One of the new shahadas, I remember Bethany. I remember 2 years ago when Bethany first became Muslim. Bethany's first problems, the thing that she struggled with was that hijab. Y'all remember that? Yeah, she laughing now. When Bethany first became Muslim, you remember, you said, Sister Layla, I just can't see me dressing that way. I have to go to work, my job. Well, they're going to look at me crazy. And what did I tell her? I said, keep coming to my class, to this class here. I said, put that hijab on, put that abaya on, and hold your head up high and go to your job. And when you walk out that door, you make dua and say, oh Allah, I'm doing this for you. Oh Allah, I'm doing this for you. Oh Allah, make my heart soften to you. Oh Allah, and make it hard and only against those who oppose you. Remember when I told you that, Bethany? She wore that hijab to work. And the people complimented her on how beautiful she looked. She was shocked because instead of them making her feel bad, they told her, oh my God, you're beautiful. So she's been wearing hijab and abaya ever since. So again, guys, once we understand that we were created with a purpose, and that purpose is to please Allah, and that Allah said that just because we say we believe in him, it's not enough. He's going to send trials our way to test us. And like I told you then, Bethany, that's your first test. Your first test is, do you really believe in Allah? Are you going to be modest? Or do you believe in the people? She put that stuff on and went to work and ain't stopped buying abayas yet. Alhamdulillah. Exactly. So once a person understands that Allah is in control and what our purpose is, then the person will ask himself, he will say, I am in this world for a short time. And after I die, there will be a paradise and there will be a hell. And I will end up in one. What does it take to save me from hell? What does it take for me to get to paradise? That's how you will think. And as Sister Bethany can say, that's all she think about now. Once she started wearing that hijab, she ain't took it off. Okay? She goes to work. She does what she's supposed to do. She prays, fasts, ain't no problem. And that was 2 years ago. Okay? So a person's not going to obey Allah's commands unless he believes in Allah. Just like I told Brother Edward. Edward asked the other day, Sister Layla, why do people smoke cigarettes and why do people commit sin when they know it's haram? Brother Edward, what did I tell you? It's because their faith is not really founded in their hearts yet. They got some hypocrisy in their hearts towards Allah. Because if they really were believed in him, they would submit to his commands and do what he says and stop smoking a cigarette. So the affirmation of the tongue, the la ilaha illallah, that affirmation of the tongue, that's what brings us into submission to Allah. And we continue to develop it by educating ourselves about Allah. And the more we learn about Allah, it's going to show through our actions. Like I was telling you guys yesterday, you never say only Allah can see in my heart. That's true. Only Allah can see in your heart. Only Allah knows your intentions. But understand, as the prophet said, whatever is in the heart is going to show through your actions. Just like those brothers who know it's haram to smoke cigarettes, to drink alcohol. Those women that don't wear hijab, they know it's haram, but they don't do it. You know, it's not, their belief is tainted. You can tell from their actions that their belief is tainted. So once the heart is incited to act, then a person will strive to submit to Allah's laws. Then a person will strive to become a good Muslim in this world, understanding that the reward of that is paradise. There is no paradise here for us on this earth, guys. I want all the new shahadas to understand that. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that this world was created to be the paradise for the unbelievers. If your mother was a good kafir, Allah will give her a good life here in this world. And then when she dies, it's over. She goes straight to hell. That's the reality. This world was meant to be the paradise only for the unbelievers, out of Allah's mercy. Okay? For us, it's a testing ground. This earth is the testing ground for the believer. So, again, what's in the heart is going to show through your actions. When you understand that this is a testing ground, you will submit and do what Allah says to do. And like I told Bethany, don't think about it. Don't question it. Don't question it. Just submit. Don't don't let Shaitan say to you, what are the people going to say? What are they going to think? Just say, A'udhu Billahi, I'm putting this hijab on. I'm putting this abaya on because my Lord commanded me to do so. And A'udhu Billahi for any other thoughts. Okay? Because once a person complies to Allah's laws and submits to his commands, that's when you become a real believer. And once you become a real believer, your heart will become at peace. You will find yourself submitting to all of Allah's laws without questioning them. If a person shows you some evidence about something, you will accept it and move on. And your heart will become filled with the love of Allah. You will love your Lord. You will fear his punishment. And you will have hope of his forgiveness, because none of us are perfect. We're going to mess up sometimes. We're going to make some mistakes. Okay? But when we make mistakes, we will turn back to Allah and ask Allah to forgive us of those mistakes. And we'll glorify him. We'll praise him. We'll call upon him when times get hard. We'll ask him to give us the strength, like Bethany was doing when she first converted and had to cover up. And Allah gave her the strength. He shocked her and had when she went to work, her co-workers are like, wow. And she got a promotion. She just typed here, don't forget, I got a promotion too. She got promoted to supervisor. She's now supervisor on her job. Alhamdulillah. So proud of you, Bethany. So, faith begins with that testimony. And then it develops and increases the more knowledge you seek of Allah. And you will find yourself in compliance to his laws and to his commands. But it doesn't stop there, guys. You will then begin a new journey to protect your heart, from the things that can come between it and faith. And we're going to talk in detail about the jinn in this class. Every one of us has a jinn assigned to our heart. That jinn is evil, and Allah put him there for a purpose. That jinn's job is to try to seduce you away from Allah. That jinn's job is to try to whisper to you and convince you to disobey Allah. But never fret. Allah is just. Allah does not give too much power to anyone. Just like Allah doesn't give all the power to the wali of a woman. Just like Allah doesn't give all the power to a guardian of the mosque. It's a check and balance. Allah doesn't give all the power to that jinn. Because not only do you have a jinn assigned to your heart, there's an angel assigned to your heart too. And that angel tries to inspire you to do good. But the problem is sometimes we listen to the jinn and sometimes we listen to the angels. But we have to work hard. That's the struggle. Now that you are a Muslim, every day of your life, you're going to be faced with this struggle to protect your heart from the things that can come between it and faith. And number one is delusions and illusions. And many of the new shahadas, you're probably experiencing this right now. Listen to what Allah says in the interpretation of the meaning. And they say, no one will enter paradise except the person who is a Jew or a Christian. That is merely their wishful thinking. Tell them to produce their proof if they are truthful. Okay? This is an example of the delusion that the Christians have. The Christians believe that nobody will be in paradise except Christians. They believe that the only salvation is through taking Jesus Christ as your Lord. Well, the Jews are the same. They believe that nobody will enter paradise except the Jews. And by the way, the Jews, they worship Ezra, Prophet Ezra. Listen to what else Allah says in the interpretation of the meaning. But the Jews and the Christians say that we are the children of Allah. We are his beloved. tell them, then why does he punish you for your sins? If you are his children, if you are his beloved, instead you are human beings from amongst those he has created. And Allah forgives whomever he wills, and he punishes whoever he wills. And to him belongs the dominions of the heavens and the earth and everything between them. And to him is the final decision. This is the delusion of the Jews and Christians, guys. The Christians believe that they are the children of Allah. The Jews believe that they are the chosen ones. And they really are deluded into thinking that because they are the children of Allah or the chosen ones, that they will enter into paradise. Here, Allah is letting it be known that this is so far from the truth. Why would Allah put them in paradise when they associate partners with him? Why would Allah give them anything in the hereafter when they make a mockery of his laws, a mockery of his rules? They ascribe partners to him. That's why even though the Jews and Christians are people of the book, they're still kafirs. What do I mean by that? Let me talk about that for a minute, because this is a question that brother, I forgot his name, the Russian brother asked. Arman or something, I forgot your name. But the Russian brother from Russia asked me this question. He sent me an email. He said, why do we call them people of the book? And why do we say that we worship the same God and then say that they won't go to paradise? First of all, we do not worship the same God. And we have to be careful of this, guys. Another reason why Allah has sent this war, okay? We have become just like the Christians and Jews, not only in how we fight, but how we behave and think. We're not the same. Allah says that. When Allah speaks about the people of the book, that phrase means people that a book of revelation was sent to them. Allah did send a book of revelation to the Jews, but they abandoned it. Allah did send a book of revelations to the Christians, but they abandoned it. And so Allah sent a book of revelations to us. Okay? So all three of us, all three groups of us are people who had a book of revelation sent to. But who is living by their book? Only us. That's why Allah destroyed the Bible. That's why Allah destroyed the Torah. Whenever, we're going to talk about this too. Whenever Allah sent a book, he destroyed the previous book, and that new book replaced it. Like Allah says, if you want to know what was in the Bible, what was in the Torah, read the Quran, because those books were wiped off this earth centuries ago. They don't exist. The books y'all reading today are some man-made garbage. They are not the original books that Allah sent. Okay? So they're people of the book because they did have revelation sent to them. But are they believers? No. Because they worship partners with Allah. Also, they don't believe in all of Allah's angels. They don't believe everything Allah says about paradise and hell. They don't believe in all of Allah's prophets. Okay? They don't believe in the Qadr. So we can never call them believers. They don't worship Allah the way he commanded. They don't dress the way he commanded. They don't obey him as he has commanded us to obey him. So they're unbelievers because of all of that. But yes, they are people who Allah did send a book of revelation to, which makes them of a higher grade than a pagan. The pagan is a person that worships a dog, worships a cat. These people are of a lower grade, okay? But they're still kafir. Does everybody understand? So what makes the Jews and Christians unbelievers? The fact that they are ignorant of the articles of faith. They don't believe in all of Allah's creation that he's commanded us to believe in. And they pick and choose what laws and rules to abide by. For example, the 10 Commandments. The 10 Commandments are not just in the Quran. They used to be in the Bible. They used to be in the Torah too. The Christians and Jews violated all 10 of those commandments, and they still are. They fornicate, they adulterate, they drink, they kill, they do drugs, all that stuff, and go to church on Sunday or go to Sabbath on Saturday. It's an example. They pick and choose. So that makes them unbelievers, not believers. Now, I hope you understand that, brother, the brother from Russia. So we have to protect our iman, protect our faith, from delusions. Don't think that just because you are Muslim. Let me give you an example of how Muslims suffer with delusion. How many of you have heard a Muslim say, well, it's okay. I'm going to drink. I'm going to smoke. I'm going to fornicate. Long as I got an ounce of faith in my heart, I'll make it to paradise. The simple fact that a person said that shows that their belief is not there. Because anytime we disobey Allah, as the Prophet said, belief leaves your heart. You don't have an ounce of faith in your heart at all when you're disobeying Allah. So the fact that they're disobeying Allah, they have no faith in their heart. And should they die that way, they die a kafir. So that's how Muslims suffer with delusion too. And what's another thing that can stand between our belief in Allah? Doubt. Doubt. What is doubt? Doubt is when the heart harbors belief in Allah, but it's also mixed with ignorance. This is when a person will question the articles of faith. And what usually causes them to do that is by studying philosophy, studying psychology, and all of that. That's a big problem today. A lot of Muslims have PhDs in science, PhDs in philosophy and stuff. And they've allowed those sciences to cause them to question and doubt what they should have known. Listen to what Allah says in the interpretation, the meaning. If you people have any doubt about what we have revealed to you about the day of judgment and other matters of belief, then ask those who read the book that was revealed to the prophets who came before you. The truth has certainly come to you from your Lord. Thus, do not doubt it in your heart. Here we can see Allah is telling us, don't question, don't doubt what he says. Just submit. Just say, oh Allah, I hear you. I obey. Submit. Don't question why is it that Allah would allow a man to have 4 wives and a woman to only have 1 man. Just submit. Allah has wisdom we don't have. Don't question why it is that a woman has to cover her body, but a man doesn't. Don't question that. That doubt. Also, Allah says in the interpretation of the meaning, the believers are only those who have believed in Allah and his messenger, and then doubt not what they say, but instead they strive with their property and their lives in the way of Allah. They are the ones who are truthful. We need to work on being a believer. When you start getting thoughts of doubt, when your personal jinn whispers into your heart for you to question Allah's laws, to question his rules, to question his guidelines, just say, A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Okay? And a lot of us have doubt because we're learning from the wrong people. That's why we have to be careful on social media. You come to my classes. I am teaching you the basics of Islam. Everything I'm teaching you, you got a book to read to see the proof. You got the PowerPoint in front of you. Then you will leave my class and you'll go listen to some wayward Muslim on another channel, and he's teaching you from his desires. He have no evidence from the Quran, no hadiths, but you're new in faith and now you're confused. That's why I tell you guys, all you need is one teacher. One teacher. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he only had one teacher. Allah did not send to him Jibril, Michael, and Israfil. He only had one teacher, and that teacher was the angel Jibril. The companions had one teacher. That was the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So I'm telling you, new shahadas, stay away from those other platforms on the internet. Because first of all, 98% of them shouldn't even be on the internet because they don't know the basics of this religion. Okay? They too busy protesting and boycotting and calling everybody kafirs because we like Starbucks. Okay? They can't accept what's going on in Gaza and the rest of the world. Stay away from those channels because all it's going to do is cause you to question and doubt what you're learning here. And finally, another thing that can break your belief in Allah and weaken it is conjecture. Conjecture. People who pick and choose what parts of the religion to accept because they don't understand another part of the religion, they rebuke it. So they'll mix truth with falsehood and falsehood with truth. This is another problem that's happening on the internet today. Because you're listening to these brothers argue and debate the deen with each other. You're listening to these brothers call each other kafirs because they drink Starbucks, call each other Zionists because and supporters of Israel because they're trying to calm you down and tell you to focus on wala wal bara instead of all this political stuff. So conjecture, this takes us away, from Allah. It causes our hearts, our faith to weaken. You will find people say, I believe in the articles of faith, but I don't believe in predestination. I believe in the role of a woman, but I don't believe in polygamy. So this type of stuff, guys, can weaken your faith. Stay away from that. Stay away from those debates, those lectures of people who are using nothing but conjecture. Okay? So that's how Sheikh Kareem Abu Zayd ended this chapter. Tomorrow, what we're going to do, y'all see my eye? Got to style my eye. Tomorrow, what we're going to do is start the next chapter where he talks about things we can do to strengthen our faith and to prevent it from becoming weakened due to these 4 things here. All right? Okay, I'm going to stop right here. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilaik. Are there any questions or comments? Is this stuff clear to everybody? This is basics. This is Islam 101.
Alhamdulillah, I feel like it's really putting it in perspective for me. I feel like I hear all the time, like I feel like you always say, Islam, it's not just about your words, through your actions. And I feel like now I'm learning what that actually means.
Exactly. Alhamdulillah.
But I had a general question about the book. I know in the Wala al-Bara, we took like a day in the class to learn a name of Allah. Are we going to do it in this book or not?
This book goes more in a lot of detail about the names of Allah. Yes. Okay, sure. We're going to cover that. That's why I like this book. This book is going to take us through all of that. Through the names of Allah. Then it's going to take us through the belief in the angels. We're going to talk about the jinn. We're going to talk about everything in here. The basics, the articles of faith, and the pillars of Islam. This book takes us through all of that.
Okay, thank you.
And by the way, guys, I'm glad the sister reminded me. Please support us. Y'all see, I almost forgot again. I can't forget. Please, guys, send in your donations to support this dawah effort. May Allah bless you. Sister Goldie, I got your Cash App. Alhamdulillah. May Allah bless you. This it's the end of the month coming. We still have a couple of more bills that haven't come out yet. We have $150 in our account right now, thanks to your donations. But I'm gonna be honest, I don't even know what the other I had to buy another program today. YouTube done made it so hard to I don't know what's going on with lawsuits and stuff. I had to buy it ain't no free one. I had to buy a program so I can download videos more because of Sheikh Atlee. I'm trying to put Sheikh Atlee stuff out. Boy, so I had to pay for that. So please, guys, I'm on a monthly. I put it on a monthly plan. So please, guys, we need donations to cover the expenses. You know, I don't know what's going on with YouTube and Facebook and Rumble and these places. They all getting sued left and right because of their YouTube channels and Instagram channels. So they're making stuff so hard. Everything, we got to pay for everything, and new programs you got to buy. Please support us. We are a nonprofit organization. As you all know, all your donations go to this website, and you are getting my reward. Whatever reward Allah is giving me, Sheikh Saud, Jermali, you guys are getting it too. And by the way, did y'all see the shorts I put out of Sheikh Saud's class yesterday? The brothers. Oh, you did, Brother Edward? You see him? Yeah, I was up all night doing it for you brothers. You brothers asked me to put those shorts out. And y'all see I went through his whole lecture. Oh, the brother in Australia, you saw it too? Yeah, I went through his whole lecture and made shorts of the important points that he made about what to look for in a speaker. You know, what to not accept from the speaker. Y'all see I did it like that for you brothers in Australia and other places. Yeah. Yeah, I got a sty in my eye. Y'all see that? Look at that. Oh, look at that. Oh, Tiba. You need to come over here. Something wrong with my eye, Tib. I got a sty in my eye. Yeah. I think you can buy some stuff. I'll get some stuff. But yeah, I put that out for you brothers. Y'all liked it? Yes. Oh, good. So yeah, you sent it to the people in your community? He said he sent it to the brothers in his community, as always, argue and debate. Yeah, I like how Sheikh Saud broke that down. Did y'all hear that part of his lecture where he said, if a person is talking badly about the real scholars, don't take nothing from them. And this is a big problem today. You will hear brothers talking about Imam Bukhari, you know, slandering Imam Muslim, Imam Nawawi. You know, don't take nothing from them. They have no respect. Yeah. Just like you see Muslims calling people kafirs because they drink Starbucks. It's the same thing. We're just ignorant. Y'all see Layla, I'm going to keep drinking it. That's right. Yeah. Yeah, his class is every Thursday, guys. Sheikh Saud will be here every Thursday, and he'll answer your questions like he did yesterday. Yeah, just bring them here on Thursday for you brothers. Okay, and also, guys, let me remind you guys, we have the Ask Sister Layla live show. My Q&A is tonight at 9, not 9:30. I'm going to do it at 9 tonight since Brother Yusef's class is canceled because he had to work. So I'm going to do the Ask Sister Layla live at 9 p.m. Yeah. Yeah, next week we're going to have a special topic. I want to advertise it for a week though. But yeah, that's tonight. This is
Ask Sister Layla live. Sister Layla live. Weekly for the happy hour. Ask Sister Layla live. Sister Layla, invite your friends and family, get cozy. Ask Sister Layla.
Yeah, so that's tonight at 9 o'clock. I'll be at any questions y'all got, bring them. Please have your questions ready at 9. Yeah. Oh God, look at my eye. And it hurts too. Yeah, I'm gonna get some eye drops now, inshallah. Okay, I'm gonna log out, guys. Let me go make salat, and I'm gonna go to the store and get something for my eye because it's messed up. All right, subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. 9 o'clock for the Q&A.